This is the plaintiff, Vanessa Edmonds. She says she gave the defendants a deposit on an apartment they were renting. Then, an hour after she agreed to take the place, she realized it was going to be too expensive for her to install a sink. That's right, the apartment had no working sink with water. This was a terrible thing to do to someone. They should be ashamed of themselves. And she's here in the name of justice for mothers everywhere, suing for the $3,000 she's owed. These are the defendants, Vinner Brooks and Shay Davis. Vinner says the plaintiff changed her mind about renting the place, and now is coming after them for a non-refundable deposit. That's right, deposits are not subject to return if you back out and change your mind about renting a place. So sorry, but no money for you. They're accused of being sticklers for the law. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $1,300 for harassment.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff gave the defendant a deposit on an apartment. An hour later realized it was just going to be too expensive to install a sink. But the defendant says the deposit was non-refundable. It's the case of, I thought you were throwing in the kitchen sink.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Vanessa Edmonds?
Yes.
You are suing Vinner Brooks and Shay Davis for $3,000. $1,000 of an apartment deposit, $600 in interest for 3 months on the $1,000. I'm dying to hear your math on that. And $1,400 for emotional distress. You have a counterclaim against her for $1,300 for harassment. Tell me what's going on.
I went to go look at an apartment for rent on Craigslist. I liked the apartment. It was really nice. The only thing was it didn't have a sink.
What did it have?
It had a bedroom, a living room, a bathroom, and in another area was a kitchen and a microwave. I asked about a stove.
What's a kitchen?
It had a fridge and a microwave.
Okay.
So I said the thing that was bothering me.
So it had a bathroom
Yes,
with a sink and a shower?
yes, and a toilet.
And a toilet, but it didn't have a sink.
No. So I said I would look into possibly getting a sink put in.
That you would?
Yes, let me look into it. They said, okay, no problem. We would go in with you on it. So I said, okay, no problem. I looked into it. I did give them $1,000 security deposit, in which they wrote out a receipt for. When I looked at the receipt, I said, okay, no problem, and can I see your ID? When she showed me her ID, it was a different name on the receipt. I asked whose name was on the receipt. They said the landlord, in which I thought they were the landlord. Come to find out, they were tenants, and
How are you subletting down there?
We have permission to rent out the bottom portion of that home.
Can you prove that?
No.
Because the county doesn't give permission, the city doesn't give permission. That's a one-family dwelling.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we had permission to rent the bottom part
From whom?
from the landlord.
Can you prove that? Call your landlord.
Well,
Let's get him on the phone.
Come
Come on, let's get your landlord on the phone.
Yeah, he's hard to reach.
You see, why don't we try?
Yeah, no, because
Why
the
don't we
whole-
try? Let's try. Let's try to get the landlord on the phone.
Okay, so if the landlord gives permission to rent it out, even though the law says he can't, can the tenant say, well, the landlord said I can do it, so I'm going to do it?
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
The law trumps everything?
Yes,
I used that word trump, didn't I?
you did.
Oops, going inside the courtroom.
there was a big dispute with him actually.
The
So,
landlord?
Yeah,
How come?
because
He found out you were subletting the place?
No,
That can't get sublet?
no. He
Okay.
gave us permission to, and we did. It
Did you ever
wasn't.
find out the name of the landlord?
they said it was Craig. They gave the police officer a number to call, in which I called the police officer. I called the landlord, who they said was Craig. I asked if he owned property, and he said no, he doesn't have property in Huntington.
You would think that if they're giving you a false name and number, the guy would be in on it and would say the right stuff.
They gave actually the number to the officer.
Oh, they figured the police is never going to call.
I called it though.
Yeah, right. I want to speak to your landlord. Let's try to get your landlord on the phone.
I'm not in contact with him no more, really. We had, like she said, we had a dispute with him.
Oh, did you leave?
We did leave.
Oh,
We did leave. Actually, we were there for a couple months, and
What was the dispute with him over?
one of the showers didn't work. There was leaking, sewage coming up from downstairs, and there was a lot of stuff that happened. So,
All right, so why won't you return her money?
because we gave it to the landlord. It didn't have anything to do
Do you have
with
any
us.
proof that you gave the money to the landlord?
No.
Well, then, if you say the landlord gave you permission to sublet it, why would you give the money she gives you to the landlord? That's the landlord subletting it and making money. Why would you go through the effort of renting it out? You're lying. You're bold-faced lying to me. Come on. Do you watch People's Court? Guys, seriously.
That's not how it happened.
Okay, why would you give the $1,000 to the landlord? Then what's in it for you?
Initially, there was someone else there with us, and he got off the lease. The landlord told us, I give you permission to put someone down there who you trust.
Yeah,
That
but
was
here's the problem. See, you stand in the shoes of the landlord when you sublet, right? It's like you're the landlord to her because she's not dealing with Craig or whoever else owns the building. Okay, so you don't have a right to lease it out if Craig doesn't have a right to lease it out. You follow? And this is a one-family place. There is no right to lease out that thing that doesn't have a kitchen and no running hot water in the kitchen and such. This is a one-family residence. So it means you can't hold on to her $1,000.
No, he sent it out. It's just we just told her 7 to 10 business days.
Well,
I don't know how if she didn't get
Who
it.
sent what out?
They sent the money back out.
Who sent the money?
The landlord. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay, now prove that. Yeah, no, you can't just come to court. Do you really think that you can come to court and say, yeah, she got it, and that the case is going to be over?
To be honest with you, I didn't know it was gonna be a big problem, so I didn't keep paperwork and all this paperwork.
Did you
stuff.
get $1,000 from the landlord?
No, I did not. I kept going back and forth to the P.O. box.
Did you ever find the landlord?
No.
Okay. What's your emotional distress?
Going back and forth, I missed out on other apartments.
That's your own fault. You
Yes,
picked the
you're
wrong
right.
one,
It
and then you
is.
turned around, changed your mind, and picked the other one.
Yeah, you're
All right,
right.
how's that? You
That is
missing
my
out on
fault.
anything?
That is
Hey,
my
where's the
fault.
emotional distress? Do you understand what emotional distress is? It's not like something bad happens to me, so someone owes me $1,400.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And now you have a counterclaim against her for $1,300 for harassment. Tell me about that.
Yes, she called our phone over and over and over.
So wait. So what's your harassment? That she tried to collect her money?
Yeah,
Anything else?
no.
You just want to get out of here? I don't blame you. Because you look terrible right now. Yeah.
I do have text messages.
Spiritually, not physically. Go
I
ahead.
do have text messages in which it's not harassment. It was like every 2 weeks I
Do you seriously think I need to see this?
Okay.
Okay. On your counterclaim against her, 0. On her claim against you, I'm ordering you to return the $1,000 plus prejudgment statutory interest, which I don't know where you get this math that all of a sudden you double in 3 months. It's charming, but that's not how it works. So you will get the $1,000 plus any prejudgment statutory interest that you're entitled to from the moment it should have been returned to you, plus, of course, your filing fee. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff is going to get her $1,000 plus a little bit of interest. Mr. Brooks, Ms. Davis are on their way out of the courtroom. I got to ask you, did you really think the judge was going to believe the way you had no evidence or anything? And do you really think the landlord did send her the money back?
I have no idea. I can't speak for him, but I don't know.
He's supposed to send it back. That was the.
I know he's supposed to,
Yeah.
but the judge doesn't think he ever thought about doing it. So,
Right.
sorry about that. It's costing you the $1,000. She's
Yeah.
going to get it back. Okay? Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Here comes Miss Edmonds out of the courtroom now. I got to ask you a quick question. You agreed you were going to put a sink in. You were really careful about the amount of rent you could pay. I don't think you have any idea what it costs to put a sink in an apartment, do you?
didn't. I really didn't.
I mean, you're not going to cost a couple of $1,000,
Yes.
many $1,000s.
I really didn't. I thought maybe like 300,
Yeah,
but no.
Well, you've learned something there.
Yes, I
You
did.
satisfied with this?
Yes, I am.
Where are you living now? You okay?
Well, I'm staying with my mother, still
You are?
looking, but hopefully now that I have my money back, I could go back to looking.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank
all right?
you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, sinks are not cheap to put in, Harmon.
Doug, this all begins and ends with a certificate of occupancy. There wasn't one. Case closed.